Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I did this look during a get ready with me / get to know me kind of thing. So I want to say two things real fast. This kind of ended up being more like experiences I've been through / storytime ordeal. So sorry. But if you guys have any other further questions, please go ahead and leave those down below. Or if you guys want to see story times on the topics that I talk about, go ahead and leave those down below too. Let me know. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. I hope you guys do enjoy this makeup. Everything is linked down below because I did not talk about it throughout this video. I only discussed a couple items. So yeah. But anyways, with that, if you're new here, please subscribe and hit that little bell next to it so that way you are informed every single time I upload a new video. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump on into this guy. My fingernail's red from hair dye. I'm not going to sit and talk about all the products. I will list them all down below if you are interested, because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking as it is, and I don't want this video to be longer than it needs to be. So with that, let's go ahead and start. I am making this for the people that don't know me. A lot of the people that are subscribed to my channel do already know me, but this will be more for like my future viewers to reference this video and to get to know me and who I am and stuff about me, because literally, like, I could be whoever I want to be on camera, but I want you guys to know who I really am. So my name is Lacey Morris. I am from a really small town in Ohio. I am 26 years old, and the basic things are like, you know, my parents are divorced. I have 2 older brothers, and I live in a house. I share a home with my ex-boyfriend of 8 years. We've been on and off of 8 years. We're still really good friends. It's a weird situation. If you guys want to know more about it, I can discuss it, but we'll just leave it at that for now. I'll like talk about more of the hardcore stuff, I guess. I don't know, because I feel like that's the more interesting stuff. I want you guys to do know though, everything that I talk about does not define me. It has helped me become the person I am today. I just think that, you know, everybody has this stereotypical, like, they expect what a beauty guru to be, so-called. I don't know, I think I'm like breaking the mold for that. So I will tell you guys, I am, like I said, from Ohio. My town is not very big, and the town I grew up in was even smaller than the town I am in now. And I'm not going to say the town just because it's really not necessary. So anyway, let's talk about this. I am not the typical person that you would see on here doing makeup or whatever you want to call it, because my ears are so red. Of the life that I have led, so to speak. I have been to prison. Let's just put that out there right now. I've been to prison. I was incarcerated all of 2016 for 11 months to be exact, 12 altogether. I will get into further detail about that in just a minute. But let's start a little farther back. So when I was younger, I was one of the bad kids per se. I mean, I was expelled from school twice for, I hate saying this, I was expelled twice for drugs. The first time I was caught with marijuana and a homemade bowl on me in 8th grade. So I got charged with paraphernalia and possession charges, and I was expelled from school because of that. And then in 10th grade, I was also expelled for apparently trafficking diet pills, which was not the case, but that's how they seen it, I guess. When I was 17, I started to use drugs. I was a troubled kid, and it was like Percocets and marijuana, and I was drinking heavily as a teenager. I drank like every single weekend. All the people I hung out with drank and partied, and And it's crazy because now, like, I don't even do anything. I don't even smoke weed. I don't even drink. I'm, like, away from everything. But anyway, what happened was when I turned 17, I started to use opiates. And, like, it was, like, not a regular thing. I just did it on occasion because I had some friends that had broken their legs and were prescribed them, and we all kind of, like, just abused them. And, like, looking back now, it's so crazy how my life has been because, like, I would have made so many different choices. This story that I'm telling because I want to show people, I want to inspire people. I want to show people that no matter what has happened in your life, you can change it. Like, you can turn it all around, okay? If I can do it, anybody can do it. Well, and then I turned 18 and I started dating this guy, and he was 10 years older than me. And he did tattoos, and I think I was just more, like, infatuated with the thought of him. Well, long story short, we ended up getting really addicted to pills. We were those people, we did shady stuff, and when I was 19, he had went on a binge, and he was addicted to uppers too, and he went on a binge, and he ended up getting arrested for robbery or something along those lines, and I left him because it was my way out. I was looking for a way out for a long time. For a year and a half, I just knew this is not how I wanted to spend my life. So I left him and I got clean. And somewhere along the way, I was introduced to other drugs, and I ended up getting addicted to heroin. And I had started dating the guy that I'm living with. He's been my best friend for 15 years. And we started using together. We like occasionally use pills together. Because I've done it all. I've sold them, used them, all that jazz. Like, I was never interested in him in school. And, like, he always was into me. And finally one day he had the nerve and he asked me out. And I said no at first. I said no at first. I did. I told him no. My excuse was that I didn't want to ruin a friendship. And looking back though, like, I really do. I really wish I would have kind of stuck to that advice. Yes, we are still friends, but I've done a lot of things, and I've hurt him really bad. I've really have hurt him, and I can't take back the things that I've done. And I'm thankful he doesn't hate me. And I have so much love for him. But looking back, like, I was just such a troubled person, and I hated myself, and it was just crazy. Anyway, countless times I've just tried to get clean. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Like, I'm not gonna sit and talk about everything. Like, I'm just trying to do some get to know me kind of stuff. But I feel like this is, like, the most asked question when people ask me, like, really, you've been to prison? Because a lot of people look at me and say, when I tell them I am a heroin addict and I was a crack addict, they look at me and say, you don't look like a drug addict. And the only thing I can look at them back and say is, what does a drug addict look like to you? Because most people have these stereotypical examples or ideas of what drug addicts look like. It comes in all shapes and sizes. Anyway, what happened was the guy that I'm living with and that I was with, in 2015, we were selling heroin because it was the only way to support our habit. Somebody that was really close to us had gotten into some trouble, and what happened was they basically couldn't handle it, so they wired up on us. They made a deal with the major crimes unit here in our town. But they had made a deal with them to buy from us in return to get out of jail. But I remember that day so vividly. It was June 24th, 2015. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. I was laying in bed, and all I remember is the guy I was with, there's a closet in our bedroom, and that's where we used to keep our stuff, and he was reaching up in the closet to grab the stuff so we could do something, so we could wake up and do what we needed to do. And like, I would just open my eyes, and I told him, like, you know, I want to go back to sleep for a little bit. I don't want to be awake right now. And all of a sudden we heard this like banging noise, and the guy I was with, he went out into his living room, and I heard a crashing noise, and then all of a sudden I seen men dressed in all black with holding guns screaming. That's all I remember at that point. And then after what seemed like an eternity, they finally came into the bedroom where I was laying, and he ripped the blankets off of me, and I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, and he said, "Do you have anything on you? Don't move." And I just looked at him. I didn't say a word. There was no point in it. I was done. It was done, you know? Like, I went to jail that day. They let me out a month later. I was clean. I was sober. I'd withdrawn in jail. And I got out, and they put me on house arrest, GPS monitor. And I was on house arrest for 5 months, and I did some stuff that I wasn't proud of while I was on house arrest. And then the guy I was with, we went our separate ways for a while. We had a no contact order. We were not allowed to be involved with each other by any means. And then I, for some reason, could not stay clean. Couldn't stay clean. So I had my hearing to get convicted January 4th of 2016, or January 8th of 2016. And I had failed my drug test 3 different times in a month. But then I failed another drug test January 4th, and I went to jail. I went back to jail. My P.O. had it. He was done. I went to jail, and I was offered another program, which I reluctantly took because I did not want to go to prison. And I did 5 months in that program and got kicked out. It was a 6-month program. I went back to county, back to jail, and I remember the day that I went to get sentenced once again. I'm sitting in that courtroom, and my attorney looks at me and says, comes back out of the judge's chambers and looks at me and says, "You have 2 options." And at this point, I have 12 and a half months left over my head. 12 and a half months left in prison. And he looks at me and he says, "You have 2 options, Lacey." And I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Prison or drug court." And I was like, "Well, that's easy. Drug court." And for those of you that don't know what drug court is, it's like a really intense thing. Like, it's really hard to even have a job. It's like an intense outpatient kind of thing. And you like dedicate your whole life to it for a while. Until you like graduate and stuff. But anyway, he's like, "Well, the catch is if you take drug court, if you mess up, you'll go do the rest of your time," because they had messed up on my paperwork. And instead of saying that I had 21 months in prison, it said that I had 12. He's like, "You go do all your time." And I was like, "Well, that obviously, you know, like I would know that." He said, "But if you go to prison, you will only have to finish the 12 months. And I had already been locked up for 8 months. It's August. I had been locked up since January, and and on top of that, I had a month from when I went to jail the first time. You know, like, to me, that was a no-brainer. I was like, I know what's gonna happen when I leave here. He was like, okay, so what's it gonna be? And I told him prison. So yes, in a sense, I chose to go to prison. I mean, what would you done if that was your only two options? I mean, you get out scot-free. 3 more months scot-free. I only had to go until December. Honestly, looking at it now, though, that changed my life. Here it is, January 2018. I have been clean for a year. I got out December 8th, 2016. Just in time to spend the holidays with my family. Yes, I had missed every other holiday that year, but, you know, I got to spend time with my family. And I just, like, I don't regret it. I don't regret none of my decisions. I regret all the decisions I made while I was using. Definitely regret those, but I can't change that, so I have to live with it and have to forgive and move on with my life. With that being said, though, like, the reason why I wanted to touch on all that is, one, because I never thought I'd see the day that I was sober. Never thought I'd see that day. Like, when I walked out of those prison gates, I expected so much of myself, so much of others. Like, it was the first time in 17 months that I was either not on house arrest or incarcerated. It's weird. Things were different. Like, not only did things seem different, they look different. Sorry, I have like 3 different palettes here I'm like trying to choose from. I believe in my heart that that all happened for a reason, and it saved my life. Prison saved my life. Like, when I meet new people and like I'm getting to know them, they're always so shocked about how open I am about going to prison and the things that I've been through. But it's like, I hide it, you know? Not only that, but when I was in that treatment program, I took full advantage of what I mean, yes, I did get kicked out. But I took full advantage of what they'd offer me because there was no choice. Like, I had no choice but to be there. I mean, I had a choice, but it was that or prison. And I wouldn't have changed it. Like, I wouldn't change the way that things happened for the simple fact that, yeah, like, I did get kicked out and I did go to prison. And, like, for the longest time, I thought to myself, like, I should have just went to prison. But because of that place and because of the opportunity that I was given, I changed. I like me. I like who I am today. I like myself a whole hell of a lot. I don't regret that shit. I don't regret that shit. Not at all. I've met amazing people along the way. Was it an experience? Oh, let me tell you. But I just wanted to share that story with you guys. I think you guys should know other things about me other than, oh, that's the girl that went to prison. That's the girl that was a drug addict. I think you guys should know other things about me. So, first things first, if you made it this far, comment down below any questions that you have for me. It could be anything. I'm usually no subjects off limits with me. And then also on top of that, I will just talk about a couple things about myself real fast. Alright, so I just added some pink from well, it's supposed to be burgundy, from my Juvia's Place Saharan 2 palette. Just so you guys know, I wasn't doing it without you guys. I'm just trying to use like a million different palettes right now. So anyway, let me talk about some other things real quick. So like I said, feel free to ask me anything down below. Just comment if you have any questions and I will answer them. I will do a Q&A eventually. But anyway, so let's talk about the basics. So like I said, I'm from a small town in Ohio. I grew up in an even smaller town, and I am a Virgo. I was born September 21st, 1991. I always vibe with Pisces. It's really weird. Like, every Pisces I've ever met, like, I just love them. And I always clash with Aries. I'm not, like, super into the zodiac signs or nothing like that, but it's just weird how it always works out for me. Anyway, I'm gonna cut this Chris real quick. Cut my Chris. I'm gonna do this real fast off camera, so 1 second. So the reason I did that off camera is because one thing about me is I like seriously can't talk when I do lashes, eyeliner, or like intricate detail makeup. Like, example, doing that. Anywho, my favorite kind of music is rock music. Yeah, rock music. I'm like super into rock music. It's kind of my thing. I'm like very super versatile though when it comes to music. I can and do listen to a little bit of everything. I think it really just depends on my mood. Like, I used to listen to rock music a lot. It got me through some really tough times. Music is my escape, other than makeup. So I am completely self-taught. And the craziest part is I did not know really much of what I was doing until 2017, probably about midway. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been learning, let's say. Like, I've always watched YouTube makeup tutorials. Like, I've always been super into them. Like, I've been watching tutorials since like 2013. I've always like looked at YouTubers and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'd love to do that. And I never really thought I would. Never thought I would. So in a million years did I think that I would be a YouTuber. Until like I started working at the job that I'm at now. By the way, yes, I work in a factory. I work second shift in a factory that makes that labels bottles. I don't love my job, but I don't hate my job either. It is a dirty and a hard job. It can be hard. It's not like super hard or nothing. I don't know, like for being a high school dropout and a felon, I mean, I'm making pretty decent money working there, so I'm not mad at it. When I started this job that I'm at now, I decided I was gonna give it a shot. I decided, why not? You know, what could hurt? What could really hurt? I saved up enough money. First, I bought me a car. I did not get my license until May of 2017. Yes, I am aware. I never had the desire to drive. I've always had somebody to drive me everywhere. So I just never got my license. But now that I have them, I bought my first car. Not even a month after I got my license. I work every single day, 8 hours a day. Well, 5 days a week. I live in a house that has holes in the wall. I started YouTube because it is what, like, it's not the thing that I love to do at first, but I love to like teach people, because I have people ask me all the time, like, alright, like, you know, I'll be walking through Walmart and people will be like, oh my gosh, I love your makeup. Or I walk into Ulta or Sephora or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, I love your makeup. And I'm like, yeah, you know, like that makes me feel good. So I like automatically thought, like, you know, kind of have a knack for it, let's do it. And I like taught myself how to apply makeup strictly from YouTube. YouTube taught me stuff. And like I really tried. I'd come home from work late at night and I would practice. That's all I would do, is just practice. I bought all my makeup myself. But I will say that, like, you know, I do want to one day make this my job. I do want to be, you know, a YouTuber that people know. I don't necessarily want like fame and fortune and stuff. Like, I just like to live a stable life, teaching people, doing the thing that I love the most. That is why I started YouTube, because I want people to see that not only are we all like stereotypical, materialistic people, high maintenance, whatever you want to call it. Like, that's just, you know, I like good makeup, plain and simple. I save my money for the things that I enjoy. I just believe that if you want something bad enough, you can do it. You can achieve anything you want to do. Like, I really hope that this is like inspiration for people more than anything else. Just inspirational for people, because, you know, like, I've lived a very traumatic, hard life. I have overcome so many obstacles, and a lot of the things that I have been through, I put myself through. I did it to myself. Not everything, no. Like, some things there would be no way that I would ever be able to have changed the outcome of it. But a lot of it I have done to myself. I just want people to see that, like, I'm not this cookie cutter person. Yeah, I may curse, and yes, I smoke cigarettes, but I really don't think that's bad. I want to be the example. I never want to be the stereotype. I've always said that, and like, I've come so far. I'm so proud of where I am today. May not be nearly where I want to be, but nonetheless, I'm so much closer than I've ever been. I try to stay humble and realize that without, you know, the people supporting me, I would be nowhere. Without the support I receive, where would I be? Some people just forget. I'm one of those mushy people that believe in love and believe that everything happens for a reason. And I never will try to push my beliefs on anybody. I just want to make that impression. When I meet people, when I walk into a room, the one thing I want to do is make that first impression. And I want it to be good. I don't want it to be a bad impression. I want it to be, you know, I don't think it necessarily needs to be an everlasting one. But I, you know, like, if you stick around, I definitely want to make an impact in your life. But I want to make that impression though, like, you know, like, wow, this girl's cool. I like her. I am going to show you what blush I'm using out of this palette though, because this don't have names. So this is the Hot Spice palette by Makeup Revolution. I'm going to use this color right here. I don't really like shimmery blush, but I like these. Comment down below a emoji. I'll just leave it here on the screen. Leave this emoji down below if you have made it this far into this video. Alright, give me 1 second and I'll be right back. I'm going to do lashes and eyeliner. Alright, my hair is super staticky. So that's that. What the fuck? I hope this video kind of like helps and gives you guys some insight of like who I am. Like I've said over and over now in this video, my experiences and the things that I have been through, those were just trials and tribulations in my life. They do not define me as a person. They don't speak about who I am. It's just experiences that I've had to go through to become the person I am today. So just know that no matter what happens to you, there's a reasoning. And there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like I said, I kind of just told you guys because I feel like you deserve to know, the person that you are watching. I feel like everybody has a story to tell, and I really feel like people's stories and how they tell it say a lot about them as a person. You will like me more because of how I opened up and because of the things that I did tell you guys, or you guys just won't feel any different about it. I'm just not what people expect. I'm fine with that. I am who I am. I have done a lot in my life. Done things that I, can say that I'm very proud of, and I've done things that I can say that I absolutely regret. So my dream, what I want, let me tell you guys what my ideal life would be. Okay? So, people wish for fancy things. I wish to become a mother. I wish to live in a stable home. I'm obsessed with these lipsticks, by the way. The Urban Decay Vice. This is in the color Backtalk. Beautiful. But I just want to be a mom to at least 2 children. I want to live in a cute little house and not constantly worry about my finances. That's all I want. Honestly, I made that goal because 1, I know it's realistic. 2, it's obtainable. 3, it's truly what I want. I really appreciate you watching. I hope you guys like the makeup. Like I said, everything will be listed down below. I am really digging this look. Like I said, if you guys are curious about anything and have any more questions, comment any question down below and feel free to ask, and I will eventually do a Q&A. Share this video with your friends, share my page. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope it was an insight of who I am and my experiences, my life. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!